Hi, good afternoon. Hi, good afternoon. I am here with Danielle Nodal. We are here to talk about racism that she experienced and just a little bit about how it made her feel.
Mhm.
Danielle, go ahead.
Yes, I just want to go ahead and go over a situation that happened when I was in first grade. I went ahead and moved with my parents to Costa Mesa, and they went ahead and enrolled me in an elementary school over there in Costa Mesa. And it was predominantly a white community, right? Most of the kids were white. There is a few other ethnicities, African American, Asian, Latinos, but the experience that I personally went through was that it was the end of the year, and I remember the teacher went ahead and um, gathered a day for us to go ahead and have like an end of the year party, and she went ahead and allowed us to bring snacks, and all that stuff. My mom went ahead and provided some snacks for my whole class, and I also went ahead and packed myself some hot Cheetos because I didn't know if they were gonna have any, and they were my favorite chips. um and basically, what had happened, we were getting ready to watch some videos that we had made throughout the year and eat our snacks as well. When I was opening my hot Cheeto bag and I was ready to start watching the videos, and the teacher went ahead and accused me of stealing the hot Cheetos ahead of time when I knew for a fact that I pulled them out of my backpack because I was the one who put them there the night prior, right? And basically, what she had me do was she took me outside into the hallway and she went ahead and told me, like, you're going to stay here for not waiting. You're not going to participate in the watching the videos. You're not going to go ahead and, eat the snacks. You can. And I remember she took away the hot Cheetos too. She did go ahead and take them away.
Wow.
Um, so I went ahead and was outside, obviously just sitting there, not doing anything, while all my classmates and, everybody else was in the classroom watching the videos, when all of a sudden I heard her say, "Oh, look, it's the hot Cheeto girl." And obviously, like, I knew it was me because of what had happened earlier, right?
Yes.
Um, but basically, yeah, that's what had happened where I felt like really discriminated.
Oh, wow. I am so sorry that happened to you in such a young age. I mean,
Hmm.
we see teachers as heroes, and for her to assume that
Hmm.
you had grabbed the bag from where the snacks were
Right.
and to just exclude you and put you outside,
Hmm.
that's that's something that it's unacceptable, especially with educators, because they should know better.
Hmm.
At as such a young age, you are learning, and it's everything, it's developmental for you.
Exactly.
I'm really sorry that happened to you. I how do you think this experience impacted you?
I feel like this experience impacted me like very negatively. I feel like in the moment I didn't even know like what was going on. Like, I was 6 years old, first grade, right? I had just came into the country from Mexico, at 4, so I was still in the process of learning the language, learning the culture out
Yes.
here, right? So I didn't know any better. I thought what she did was like, oh, kind of odd, but I kind of just like brushed it aside, and I was like, oh, okay, like maybe like things like this happen here all the time,
Yeah.
or whatever the fact may be. But I feel like it definitely impacted me in a very negatively way, because even looking back at it now, I remember being confused and even thinking like, did I actually steal these? Like, is this like, did I steal these? Like, it was just like kind of like in the back of my head.
It's like you doubted yourself, even
Right.
knowing that you didn't do it, but it was because she said you did it.
Right.
And
Mhm.
she accused you of doing it. And we look up to our educators, right? We are told growing up that our teachers are right.
Right.
So, and how did you handle this?
I remember just being compliant with her, listening to whatever she told me. She told me to, she brought me outside. I stayed there. I remember, just sitting there while my friends, I could hear like them going on about, and then as soon as she said like, oh, there's a hot Cheetah girl, well, everybody laughed, and you know, I couldn't handle it any other way. I was 6 years old. What could I have done? Maybe I could have spoken out about it, but like I did mention, I was still fairly learning the language. There was only so much I could do because of the language barrier, right?
Okay. No, and it's into for you to have been 6 years old and still remember it, it's something that impacted you.
Right.
How do you think you would now, going back and thinking of it, how would you handle this different?
I think I would have handled, looking at it now from my perspective, I feel like I should have spoken out because I remember I didn't tell my parents, I didn't tell the principal. I just kind of took it and went about my day, right? Like I just thought it was the normal, right? To
Yes.
get in trouble over these silly things, but fortunately it wasn't, right? But I feel like I definitely should have spoken to someone who was above her, like my parents. They could have easily, called the school, done something about it, voiced it out for me because I couldn't. I was 6 years old, right?
No, and it's true because sometimes when we talk about it, it's better, right?
Hmm.
And what change would you like to create so
The
this won't happen to others?
Yeah, the change that I want to go ahead and create is just like speaking out, voicing out whatever you think is, bad, whatever you think is, whatever situation you're in is not too little if you think that what is happening to you is hurting you, right? Is causing you to feel a certain type of way. So basically just like voicing out, being openly vocal about it to anyone, to someone who you deeply trust, your parents, your aunt, your anyone in your family, maybe even another teacher going to her about it, or him. Yeah.
And what would you like others to know in case this similar situation happens to them?
I want other people to know, just in case if this were to happen to, their kids or like to them or, I just want them to know to go ahead and voice out and just be open about whatever happens to you because you never know if what happened to you is considered something of a great deal.
Okay. Yes, it's very good to speak to others so like that change can be done.
Right.
What is your takeaway from all of this now that you are reliving it as you're speaking it?
My takeaway from this is basically just, like I mentioned, I feel like it's just like voicing out, being comfortable enough to, stand up for yourself, no matter what age. I feel like uh, if I knew English, I feel like I definitely a little bit better, right? Because I did know English, but if I knew
Mhm.
it a little bit more advanced, I feel like I definitely would have, spoken up for myself. I just really wish someone else could have been my advocate to, help me get
Definitely.
through that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience, and I'm really sad that happened to you, but I'm glad that you're able to talk about it.
Mhm.
Well, have a wonderful day and thank you.
Thank you.